Hey everybody, welcome back to Heart Breathings. Today we are going to have a process video, and I am going to be taking multiple Erin Condren planners and Frankenplannering them, taking them apart and putting them back together in a new configuration for my content calendar. So I've been looking forward to this for so long, so I'm excited. Let's get started. I'm going to share the process of putting together my content calendar planners, and these are going to be Frankenplanners where I take apart some of my Erin Condren planners of various formats and layouts and put them back together in a Frankenplan kind of way where I'm mixing planners. And I have been doing this for years, and it does take a little bit of work, but it's also really fun. So I've been looking forward to it. I also am very lucky that the Erin Condren team sends me some free planners, so I'm able to do this. It would be kind of expensive to be able to do this, all the time if you weren't getting some free planners or finding them on discount or other things. But I know that some of you also do have older planners that you never used, and you can easily redate these, like literally just taking the 2022 or whatever might be here and then finding some date dots and redating these is not that difficult. So if you're looking to give old planners new life, or if you bought multiple planners and you aren't sure which one to use because nothing's exactly right, stay tuned because we're going to be Frankenplanning today. What I have here for you, let's go over kind of what my overall plan is. And a lot of you said you wanted to see the thought process. So I haven't really spent any time thinking through what I'm going to do with these planners. But my goal today is to create two different content planners. And that is for both of my brands. So I'm an author, so I have one for my Sarra Cannon author brand. And then I also have a second one that I always use in the larger 8.5 by 11 size that is for my Heart Breathings brand, which is this YouTube channel and my courses and planner and things that go along with that. And it always helps me to have them in two separate planners. I've tried before keeping them in one, and it's difficult because if I'm working on an author promotion plan, my brain will naturally switch to, oh yeah, and I got to get this video and that video. And then I'm off focusing on heart breathing. So it has been really helpful for me to have two separate planners. Now, could I just take one planner and use that? Yes, but I love having more notes pages or something customizable. Plus it's really fun for me. And since I have credits and things to spend at Erin Condren as an affiliate, I'm using it. So I have tried multiple different configurations of the basically Frankenplanner that's a monthly planner plus, I guess you could say. Their monthly planner is just a monthly calendar with a bunch of notes pages. And that for a while was exactly what I was using, except I would just put more notes pages in it. Lately though, I've been experimenting with other sheets in here, and it's worked to varying degrees. So something that I've tried, I almost never use this dashboard, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But something I have tried is putting some vertical sheets in here so that I can get an idea of my ideal weekly posting plan. And then I use the plain notes pages and plan out any videos or take notes on, like I took the subscription for author accelerator course earlier this year. So all my notes for that are in here. I also did, multiple conferences and things like that. So all my notes for anything that I wanted to do for authors, my author business is in here, as well as my own personal plans. And you can see this year as opposed to maybe last year. So you can see that this is about how much I used my monthly spread in 2022. 2024, however, I'm using it much more efficiently. And part of that is because I'm using stickers. So I know that's such a silly thing, but it does actually work for me to be able to do it this way. So this is only things in relation to my business. And then my other piece has my heart breathing stuff. So anyway, I have used probably this one, which I did as a 6-month planner with a mix of checklist pages, vertical pages, and notes pages, more than I have ever used any of my monthly planners before. Like I have a few here because I'm thinking of pulling them apart for the Coil. And I've used them to varying degrees, but this is the one I used the most. And then what I have to create my new one, I'm actually considering doing a 3-month planner instead of a 6-month planner, but we're going to see how much I can fit on a coil. So what I have to play with here is a compact vertical layout of the new Evolve design that is an 18-month planner. So it has the largest coil basically you could get. This also, I believe, was an 18-month coil, and I just really stuffed them super full and I love that. And so this one has, you've got the monthly spread, the very colorful dashboard monthly spread that has color that goes into the coil. So you wouldn't be able to cover that with stickers. I'll talk about that in a second. And then you've got the dashboard, which now is on the left side, which I'm very happy about. And I'll talk about that in a minute when we get to the process. And then you have the brand new compact vertical design. So this design was previously only available for A5s. Now it's in the 7x9 planners. And I love this layout. The way that I'm thinking of using it is I'm going to be starting a Ream subscription, and I'm going to be writing things that will get posted every single week. So I'm hoping to post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so I'm going to have to be keeping better track of when things are going up, when things are getting scheduled, and it will just be a much more fast publishing schedule. Plus I'm going to be back to working on book 12 of my Shadow Demon saga and some other things. So I want to make sure that I have a system on paper, which works best for me, that I am tracking what is due and everything that's going into it. Because Ream won't just be those 3 posts. It'll be live streams and polls that'll go up and newsletters that are going out and stuff like that. So it's really like taking my author career from level 4 to like level 10 in terms of responsibility. And I'm excited. I'm so excited for this story and for all the things that are coming up, but I want to track it well. So I've got the compact vertical to do that. So this is where I would put like everything that's due for that day, like a checklist of things that I need to do that day. But I also have a vertical layout. This is from last year's Canvas design, 2023-24. And I bought this thinking that I would use it for memory keeping because I've been trying to keep up with a memory keeping planner for years. Has not fully worked out for me, but it works out great that in this particular planner from last year, the dashboard's on the right. So I'll show you why in a little bit. But this has just your typical vertical design, and it's the Canvas design, so it's completely neutral, which means there's no color here. And because I like to do the stickers, the sticker kits, what I did last year, because I love this color, is I used the tab from the colorful planner, but the pages from the Canvas planner. And when I do that this year, that will mean there's no dashboard on this side, and there will be no dashboard on this side either. So I get to kind of Frankenplan it without the dashboard because I just don't use it. So I'm excited for that. So I think I'm going to, basically I'll have 2 weekly plans for every month. And the way that I'm going to use that is this will be my overview of when things are due, like when things are going to get posted. So this will just be my post schedule. So what reams are going up, what ream chapters are going up, what reels are going up, what newsletters are going out, that will be here. Then my compact vertical will be the stuff that I'm creating. Hopefully that makes sense. It makes sense in my head. So this will be stuff that's already created, and this is a post schedule. This will be my to-do list, basically. It might be extra and it might end up like one of these older planners where I just almost never use it, but that's kind of my thought process. The other things I do have are just these blank notes pages from a previous planner that I took apart, a previous notebook. And then at Go Wild, they gave us as a gift these EC Squad 2024 productivity notebooks. So this is what they call their productivity notebook that has basically lines here and here and then checklists over here. So I feel like if I put this in the planner in addition to the blank pages, then it could serve as a checklist for, like, if I'm brainstorming, let's say this says there's a reel on Instagram on Thursday. This could be where I think about all my reels and get a list of all the video clips that I need to take for the week. But I don't know, this is kind of the big thing for me, is like, is if I put this in here, will it turn out just like these little checklists that I put in this last year that I didn't hardly use at all? And it just ended up being space I could have used for something else and didn't. So there's a part of me that's tempted to only put extra notes pages in and leave the productivity pages out. But I also do think that that structure might be really good as a checklist for things like this could be like my ream schedule, and this one could be my social media posts, and it would just be a place to brainstorm what those posts are going to be and have a checklist of all the stuff I need, like graphics and things I need created for it. So I think I'm going to pull all of these apart and create one Frankenplanner. Now, one of the first questions that I ask, well, I guess first, let me just show you, gosh, we're already 10 minutes in, so this is going to be a long video. If you haven't grabbed a drink yet, go get something. So I also am going to create my content calendar, planner, and outlining space for Heart Breathing's YouTube channel and all my courses. I will be re-recording my HB90 course. It's going to have some bonus tips every single day of the boot camp for people who are neurodivergent, for people who are neurospicy, and for people that have ADHD or ADHD. And I'm going to be pulling from my community to add new resources to the class. I'm very excited about it. There are talks about doing a printed planner. I'll share more of that with you guys as well. I'm also thinking of doing a Kickstarter and some other things later in the year. I don't know for sure that any of that will actually happen this year because it's just going to depend on timing. However, look at this gorgeous sunset coil. So last year they had this multicolor coil. Now they have the sunset coil, and this one is no longer available. And you can get this in the smaller size or the bigger size. And I almost didn't get it because I don't really like orange, but really it's not orange. It's more gold, copper, and pink is really what it turns out to look like. And I really actually like it, so I'm going to stick with it. This is the teacher lesson planner. And then to Frankenplan with this, I have a lined notebook and the priorities and notes, which has 6 boxes here. So I haven't spent a ton of time, like I said, thinking about how exactly I'm going to plannerize this or Frankenplanner this, but I do know that I ended up getting the teacher planner this year because I am interested in the new layout. So if you haven't seen this new layout for the teacher planner, oh my gosh, I have the world's largest stack of Erin Condren planners. Let me check to make sure this is in frame. So the new version of the teacher planner, you can still get the old version, but the new version, instead of having only 5 days on the side and then like 7 subjects, they've made it the 5 days here with a Saturday and Sunday full column, and then you've got 6 subjects. And I thought, okay, this is perfect because it reminds me of the Plum Paper Planner Me layout, and that has worked for me in the past for social media planning. You have a section for priorities and meetings, which are also important to me, a little checklist here. And what I am planning to do with this is Instagram, YouTube Shorts, stories, et cetera, Facebook groups, course groups. And I'm going to figure out the 6 most helpful categories for, again, content creation and content posting. And that will go in here, but the smaller planner will be all of that stuff for my Sarra Cannon brand. And this will be all of my stuff for my Heart Breathing's brand, because it is a lot of work to maintain 2 YouTube channels, 2 Instagrams, 2 newsletters, 2 Facebook groups, like all of that stuff. And it's very helpful to have it all organized. And I have tried digital organization for this, and it hasn't fully worked for me because out of sight, out of mind, especially when I'm planning. Like I can use digital tools for when it's already planned. Like we use Asana for some of this stuff. But the initial planning, it just helps me so much to not have a screen and be able to see it like this or see it on a monthly calendar. So I'm going with it. This planner goes from July to July. So it will be starting, please tell me it goes July to July. Oh, I had a freak out moment where I thought maybe it only goes from August to July. Now this one, I did not buy like a canvas version. I don't even think they offer a canvas version. So I'm not going to use stickers on this one. It will just be its own beautiful self, and that will be great. And then I think this one I'm going to heavily focus on the use of highlighters to add color instead of stickers. So I'll have one stickery planner, one sort of highlighter planner, and I'm excited for that. But I'm not sure that I need like all these checklists and things that are in the back, like for the teacher checklist. So I probably will just take those out, and that'll be great. Now, as we move into doing the actual process of the planner, first thing first is taking them all apart. And I had previously purchased, that I shared recently, these soft touch pliers, but they're too big and they don't get precise enough because they're too wide. So some of you brilliantly suggested just taking my like needle nose pliers and covering them in duct tape. So we're going to try that. And I have more duct tape here in case this doesn't fully work. So these are super old. Like I think these are my husband's grandfather's ones, and I didn't ask permission to put duct tape on them, but hopefully that will come off. If not, oops. But I'm going to take all this stuff apart and then kind of keep it in piles. And then the next decision to make, I'm actually going to just do only the 7x9 first, and then we'll move on to the next one. But one of the things I'm also going to do is decide which coil I want to use. Now, it's possible if I use an 18-month coil, I could do a 6-month planner with all the notes pages and both weekly spreads, but that's a lot. That's like 26 weekly spreads times 2, which makes it a full length planner. And I want to have plenty of room for notes. So I'm going to just take everything apart and then I'll start building. But I have this black coil. They don't offer the black coil anymore, and I kind of want to use it. It looks so good with this purple colorful cover. And I really love it. And I'm kind of going for more of a black, purple, like dark branded thing. But this coil is smaller, so I'm not sure if I'm going to use that or not. I also, this past year, used this coil, which would look super good with it as well, because the colors just kind of pull out. And then this one is also an 18-month coil, and I'm pretty sure these are the same size, and it's gold. And I think that looks fine as well, but just not as vibey. I don't know. I have a rose gold coil, but it's also a smaller one. I just don't think I'm feeling the rose gold. So the big decision is black, gold, or multicolor. In a way, the only reason I'm thinking of not doing the multicolor is because this planner was so useful to me. And I kind of want to, it's the one I used the most of any of them I've ever had. And I kind of want to just keep it in its full glory here instead of taking it apart and putting like, usually I'll put like a clip like this, except bigger on it to hold all the pages together. But if I want the coil, I want the coil. So we'll see. I do have another coil of this same color, but I'm pretty sure it's smaller. That's definitely smaller. So this is a 12-month coil. This is a 18-month coil. So it's not really that huge of a decision, but it is something to think about. So now let's take apart these main 3 planners and notebooks first, and I'll stack those up, and then I'll decide which coil, and I'll uncoil that planner next. Process of coiling. It's kind of hard to show because I usually do it like up against my body, but let's start with the notebook and let's see how this is going to work out, because I rarely reuse these coils. So you just go in there. It's going to be more slippery with duct tape on it. You just get in here, and this tip of this coil is really just, oh man, I don't know if this is going to work because it's slippery. Maybe. Yeah, actually that works. It's still giving a little bit of crunch there. And did I just, okay. So I just got, you probably cannot see that, but I got like an iron splinter. That has never happened, but it did still kind of crunch it up, to be honest. So I don't know if this is a better solution or not. I don't know what they use in the warehouse, but it does not do this in the warehouse. And they do these all by hand. So it's like, what are they using? I don't know. But the trick of it is that you have to sort of straighten this part of the coil, and you don't have to get both sides perfect. You just need one side that's going to be turned around and around and around. And you need to try to make it as close to the other shape because it's going to go around and around through the other planner. So when I do this, you can see it's catching because this little crink here, crinkle, is catching on the paper, and that's what ends up damaging the paper. So you have to kind of play with it a little bit and then try to curl it so you can kind of see there that it's a little bit out too much. So you have to try to kind of curl it to match the curl of the rest of the coil. And when you get it, you can feel it just go through super easy. And ideally, you want to get it as close as possible so you don't mess up any of the paper. And then it's just really a process of just pulling it through and pulling it through. That's still not perfect, but it's not terrible. Yeah, there we go. So once you get it like pretty close to the shape of the other side of the coil and you get that crinkle out, it's pretty easy to just unroll it. So let me check the camera. Total, that took me 3 minutes and 39 seconds to get that off. So you can see though, I didn't do it super precisely and I tore this part, but I'm not even going to use this page. So I guess the quote is cool, but I don't worry about being too precise because of that reason. But again, if you do, it might take you a little bit longer. I will also say that that process of rolling back and forth can almost put a cramp in your hand. So you might want to take your time with it and then take a break if you need to. If you have other issues with your hands, like arthritis or other things, it might not be a good idea for you to try this process just because it can, I think, kind of cramp your hand. But now I'm going to do the same thing with these next two. Okay, so here's the 18-month coil, and actually that's really not too damaged. It's definitely better than before I wrapped it. This one was pretty easy to uncoil and just took a couple of minutes because I got the system down a little bit better. So this one was really easy. I will say something that will help you even more that I'm just not doing is if you take a alligator clip or whatever and you clip these together, you clamp them together, that can be super helpful. Final planner to pull apart is the vertical. Here is my stack of planners that I'm going to use to Frankenplan, and now it just really becomes which coil. So I think what I'm going to do before I pull anything apart is I'm going to go ahead and put my pages together and see if it would even fit the way I want it to on the black coil and how much compromise I'm going to have to make in my notes pages to make that work. So let's just do that next process. So here's exactly the process that I follow is I just start building and each page gets a question, right? Which one do I want to use? So front paper, do I want to use this colorful or do I want to use the canvas? I think in this case, I'm going to just use this colorful page. So that's the first one. So then do I want to use the life planner page here or this one? So I'm going to use this because I love this main Eda design here for the Evolve. So I'm going to continue to use the color. I'm also going to use these pages that have the 18-month calendar as well as the bigger as well as this 12-month sort of colorful piece. I am going to use the colorful pages of the monthly, but this is where things change a little bit. So when we're looking at the canvas, we have that same life planner layout, the same calendar, but it's slightly different font. And this, you know, actually, I do kind of like this more minimal version of, let me move these stickers and stuff out of the way. If I look at, no, I think I'm going to keep it like this. So all of these first pages are from the Evolve, but I do like this, but I'll use this in the next like 6-month planner or 3-month planner, depending on what I end up building. So I put the extra pages to the side, and I won't recoil the extra pages. I'll just leave them like I have this. And sometimes, like I said, I will use a clip to hold them together, and I have a little spot in my notebook closet where I keep them all together. But this is where I'm going to shift things around a little bit, because I don't want the color, as much as I love it and it's beautiful, I really want the colorful dashboard, but I don't want the colorful monthlies, because I already did purchase from Black Friday last year all of these Sticker Guru monthly sticker kits, and I don't want to see any of this color through the coil. So I am going to do like I did last year, which is I'm going to, oh, I don't need January. That would be a big mistake. I'm going to take the July. So let me put all these other pages, and these won't go to waste, by the way. So these pages are January through July of vertical pages. They won't go to waste. As you can see in my previous monthly planner, I was just using pages from an old one that I just redated. So I will use those eventually. So I'm going to take the July monthly, same month, and I'm going to, once I get them into the planner, I'm going to take my adhesive roller, and I'm going to tape these together. And then I will cut off this piece. I wish I could peel off this plastic part, but it's okay. I will just cut the plastic piece. So it only has one tab, but it's only using the more minimal sheet. Then this page here that has the dashboard and the colorful second half of the month is just going to the side. And I'm going to be using this one, which again, still doesn't have the dashboard. And I have to say, even though I don't use the dashboard, I'm so happy that they did it this way, because the way it used to be is this side, when you would turn it, it would have your first week on it. So it made it a lot harder to reuse pages later, because you'd be missing one of the monthly pages. So anyway, I'm very excited about that. Now, in this case, I was actually thinking I would miss the dashboard, but now I'm realizing I will still have the dashboard in my planner, because it does have this on the other side of it. So it's fine, not a big deal, but it won't be the case for next year, because it'll be on the other side. I was thinking it would work out perfectly to not have it on the other side of my calendar, but it's on the other side of the week. So not as cool as I thought. But what I am going to do here is I'm going to put the weeklies first, the vertical weeklies first. So that is all of these pages through the month of July with a notes page on the end. But before I add August, I'm going over here to the July compact vertical pages, and those are going to go in. And then I'm going to add, this is going to be such a hodgepodge of stuff, but I'm going to add, I think, let's see if this would be one. Ooh, I feel nervous about this, because like, what if I don't end up using them? But this will be, we'll use that as 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And then we'll have these notes pages. So the question is how many? Let me see how many I used this time. And they mostly got used. So let's see, we had one of these, a checklist page, none of that got used, but we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full spreads of pages. So let's see if we can do that here and how big it's going to make it. So this would be, we'll count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the extra sheet here. So that, if I keep it this way, every single month will be this big. I don't know, I still feel like I could do a monthly planner or a 6-month planner. Okay, let's carry on. There were times where I felt like it wasn't quite enough pages, but I'm just gonna try to fit more in the back. But I do feel like I can probably get all 6 months in one planner if I keep it to this. So the next we have the August Colorful mixed with the August Canvas. This August page gets tossed. And then we have our August vertical sheets, our August compact vertical sheets, and then we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4 of these productivity sheets. And okay, let me go back and count exactly what I did. So I have 4 and 6. So we got the 4. Now we're gonna count out 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, some of this ends up being a little bit of trial and error because once I get it all put together, there might be more room and then I would change out some of the layout or think about where do I want to potentially add in some extra sheets. And there also might be not enough room and I have to pull some things out. So here's the vertical, the compact vertical, and then we're going to do 4 of these and 6 of these. Okay, so here's July, August, September. Definitely can fit more pages in here. I was afraid having 2 weekly spreads for each week would be just like ridiculously huge, but this is going to be fine. So I can make this a 6-month planner that will last me the rest of the year. And then I can add additional notes pages in the end. And I'm actually, as I'm thinking through it, I'm wondering too, if I wanted to add more notes pages here where the vertical spread meets the compact vertical spread. So that's going to be on my mind that if I end up having extra notes pages or productivity pages, as well as extra space on my coil, that I might put some in between the 2 weekly spreads, and then I will use tabs and other things like that. So I'll kind of show you. I didn't use as many tabs this year, but I was just using washi tape as tabs. And then in previous ones, I have used also some bow tabs and things like that to delineate sections of the planner, but my husband just called me to dinner. So we have our first 3 months and I will be back in a little bit to complete this planner. Dinner was super tasty. We've been making vegetables from our garden and it feels so good to finally be actually cooking things that we made from our own garden. That's mostly George doing that, but it's amazing. It feels so good. I had jalapenos, zucchini, and desi squash tonight. It's very good. So, okay, so we're on September, continuing on. So we take this page of October and I'm going to stop the commentary and just get all this done and fast forward. Here's where we are in the bulk of the planner, and we're at the end pages after the December main pages. Oh, I skipped. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I almost messed that up. Okay, so now this section here will be for next year, and I'm gonna move this to the side. That will get a clip and be moved off. Now I have two options. There's a tab that says notes from this one, or a tab that says lined from here. And if you haven't bought an Erin Condren planner recently, one of the new things that they're doing is offering a set of pages in the back that you can add to any planner, not just the monthly planner now. And I think you can do lined, productivity, or graph paper or something maybe. There's a couple of different options. Then there are stickers, but I never use these birthday stickers in my planners. And then we have some tab stickers. I may or may not use these in the other planner, which is the canvas one. It has these sort of pastel looking stickers. I probably wouldn't use that in this planner either. And then probably some birthday ones. I don't know where they went. They're in the back somewhere. So do I want to use the lined, or do I want to use the tab that says notes? I think I want to use the one that says lined. And it'll be up here at the top. Does that look good? Yeah, I think that'll be fine. I'm gonna kind of look at it from the front. It's like, do I like the line? Now remember, all of these other gray ones I'm gonna cut off, so we'll just see the color. Actually, I could cut off the colorful ones. It doesn't matter which one I cut, but I won't keep them both. But it might look good to have them all be gray. So which tab? One tab is at the top, one tab's at the bottom. Actually, I think if I keep the gray one, I'll use the one that says notes. So I'll move this to the side. This is already pretty chunky compared to this planner. Let me take these dividers out. These are so cool. I love them, and you can stick stickers down in there and use them to decorate your planner, but they do beef it up quite a bit if you use all three. This year, I'm not even sure if they still have the clear ones, but they did come out with some that are more colorful. I don't like those as much. I'm all for clear because I want to be able to put my photos and things in there. In this one, I also do have quite a lot of little stickers in the back here, so I'm going to pull those out. And then I used this colorful folder. But if we were to compare these, this is very full, and I don't have any back note pages. So, oh man. That is pretty close. That's pretty close. But I know I want more notes pages. So then the question is, do I just make it thicker and maybe not use those folders inside the dividers? Do I only make it 3 months and put a ton of note pages in? So if I took it and made it 3 months, it would only go to the end of September. So that would create 2 books, and then I could put, you know, a lot of notes pages in the back, and that would just be lots and lots of room to think through what I'm going to do with my promotions. Or I just go ahead and make it 6 months. Part of the reason that I'm thinking of keeping it a 6 month, even if I won't have as many notes pages, is because I can forward plan better. So I feel like, you know, once I get to September in particular, I'm going to be like, oh, I'm ready to start thinking about what I'm posting in October, especially for my Spooktacular event and for NaNoWriMo and stuff like that. So I feel like I do want it to be this big 6 month planner, but it's not going to leave me a ton of space for note pages in the back. So I'm just going to have to kind of see what I think will work. So let me find which one's the 18 month. So this is the 18-month coil. And I always kind of just like, I think that will actually fit fine. It's definitely not going to fit on this black coil. This is going to be too small. So I definitely need, if I'm going to do all 6 months, I definitely need an 18-month coil, which means either this colorful one and taking this other one apart, or just using the gold. And I don't know. I know in the long run, it doesn't really matter because anything will be fine, and it will look good with whatever I pair it with, no matter what. But I do love this colorful coil so much. And if I have it with this, and then it's all the gray tabs. I think that'll be super beautiful. So at this point, plus I do want to put this pocket in the back. I don't think I'm going to put any stickers in the back, but I mean, look how gorgeous this is. Like, this is artwork. I want this on my wall. So that's this. And I think I can put maybe just a tish more notes pages, but then I won't be able to probably put all of these tabs in there because it's just going to be too thick. But I'd rather have the notes pages, I think, even though I do like the tabs. And yeah, this front thing looks better with that sunset coil. So that's not as pretty because it has so much of the red colors, but I mean, that's beautiful regardless. The only hesitation I have, like I said, about using this coil is just that I didn't want to take this apart because I have liked it so much altogether and I have used it. And of course I'm still using it because it's still June right now, but really there's only this week and then we're going on vacation. And so there's not really that much more to plan in here. And I really literally only have like 6 sheets left in the back of this and everything else is used. So yeah, it's just a matter of, will I get more enjoyment out of having this remain a book that I can go back and flip through, or will I get more enjoyment out of having this coil? Okay, I paused it for a minute and really gave it some thought. And here's what I'm going to do. This is extra work, but I want to use this coil because I love it so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncoil this one and then I'm going to recoil it on, I'm going to try to recoil it on this 12-month coil so that I still have the 18-month to use another time. I don't know if it will coil correctly. It'll just be really big. We'll see how it goes. So first things first, I have to uncoil this one. So another uncoiling. Like I said, it's extra work, but it's okay. And in fact, if I uncoil this one, I might use this sheet in the front instead of this one because overall I feel like this one is more beautiful. This just ended up having almost none of that purple and blue on it, which is unfortunate, but not really that big a deal. Wish I could take that sticker off too. I guess I could use, no, we're not doing that. Okay, let me get all this off. I realized about halfway through too that I did not take this sheet off, so I took that choice away from myself. But the top part is really easy because all you have to do is basically just fold it back in there, right? Pretty easy. The bottom part is not hard either, but you just kind of take wherever you had it crinkled up before. Ooh, it's just a little bit harder with this duct tape on it. And you just get it in there so that it's kind of out of the way. And I always find it harder to make this bottom piece look as nice as it originally did, whereas that top piece is usually pretty easy. And then I'll just play with it for a while and work to get it kind of where I want it in terms of matching up with the rest of the coil. And there we go. It is recoiled, ready to go, ready to keep. I will put that cover back on it in a little bit. Actually, I'll just do it now because some of you probably are like, how do you put covers on and off so quickly? So it's really easy. So all I do when I'm doing the covers is I just line it up and then I push and kind of twirl it. So push and twirl, push and twirl. And it's very easy to put them back on. So you just kind of make sure it's lined up, push down, and sort of turn the coil just a little bit as you do it. And it goes on very easily. So here is my recoiled, and see, that looks totally fine with the gold coil. It's very pretty. I love this planner. I love the paper. It's just, this has been such a great combo planner, except for those checklist pages. So we'll see how this next one turns out for me. So let me grab it. So here is the new one. I think I am gonna just stick with this, although I love this one too. I'm gonna use the brand new one because it's just so pretty. So here's this. I'm not gonna do any of the cutting of tabs and stuff until it's coiled up and ready to go. So again, this one matters a little bit more in terms of which side because the coil changes color. So if you want for this part to go at the top, you have to start at the bottom and coil up. And if I wanted to flip flop it, I would start at the top and bring my way down. And I didn't really think about flipping it, but I think it really looks best this way.
Baby, I'm sorry for the things I didn't mean.
Ooh, recoiling is more labor intensive. It's so awkward, and I'm trying to hold it out so that you can see it on the camera. I don't even know how that'll turn out, but it's done and it fits, and I'm very excited about that. So here is how it looks. And, you know, it didn't really, because I had the coil pretty well shaped, it didn't really, I feel like, mess up the planner this time. Then once you get back here, like before, you just kind of find your angle and then just sort of tuck this piece in so that it's sort of in line, and then you don't want it to be angled inward too much or it'll mess up how the coil moves, but otherwise it's pretty good there. And then this one that we straightened, we're just gonna kind of give it a little space there, and then we're just gonna kind of tuck it in. And you know, you can kind of play with it over time until you get it where you want it. And see, like that doesn't look great. It really needs to be kind of bent more, where I spent all that time and work like unbending it. I need to rebend it. Just hard to do on camera. It's not perfect either, but it's better. Okay, that's actually quite nice. Okay, better, done. Then I will put these covers on. I'm excited about this cover in particular. And now we are going to do some surgery to this thing. So I have some scissors, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to cut off the July tab. And I'm going to keep the gray ones. And then what I'm also going to do is take some adhesive roller, and I'm not sure how much is left in this particular one, but I'm going to just go along the edges here. I like to get it as close as I can, and then I'll usually do one or two here. But before I roll that, what I'm also going to do, and I know some of you will be like, not in a million years would I do this much work for a planner, and that is totally fine. But if I just put this together, this is going to ghost through. So I am going to cover up as much of this beautiful color as I can. And the truth is, if you didn't want to do this in terms of 2 monthly put together, what I could have done was, before I recoiled this, I could have gone to all these pages and just whited out across the coil. Like right now, because it's coiled again, I don't actually have the, I don't want to mess that part up. I don't actually have the ability to get inside there the way I would have. And in fact, if I had thought of that before just now, I potentially would have done that, because then it would not show through at all. But it's really not so bad. And I don't really worry about the dates, because those are going to be mirrored on the other side. But when I want to line them up, I will just get it all right where I want it on the coil, and then I will pull it over and just stick it down. And that usually does a pretty good job. Sometimes you can see there's like a little bit of overage, and if you're using repositionable tape, you can always do it again if you want. But for the most part, I'm happy with that, and I'll just probably like take whatever that excess is there. And now what I have is a planner that has the pretty side of the dashboard with the canvas neutral side of the monthly, so that I can then take the Sticker Guru stickers and not have to worry about covering up any of the design or having it bleed through or show through on the coil. So this is tedious, this part of it, but just to kind of show you, I'll finish this in a bit. But here's what we have. We have the monthly, we have the dashboard here. Even if I don't use it, maybe I'll track social media stats or something on here. And I can already tell this coil is too bent, and it's gonna not turn 100% the way I want it to. So I'm gonna come back over here. Like I said, sometimes you might have to kind of continue to work with it once you've uncoiled it. So that can be one of the annoying sides of it. So monthly dashboard, the July pages of the vertical, which I'll use to plan out my posts. Then we have one sheet here that I can use for stats or whatever. I'll work on what I'm going to put there. Then we have the second July week, which is the compact vertical one. And again, I love this layout. The only thing I wish is that we didn't have this little calendar here. And I know that some people use those calendars so they don't want to get rid of them, but I just wish it was like up here or something instead of right in the middle of a usable block. It's like, can you put it really tiny up here in the corner or up on the side? Because here is annoying. And I will white all of those out. But we have the compact vertical pages. Then we have a few spreads here of the checklist pages to do weekly posts. Then we have 6 notes pages, and then we go into the next month, and I will off camera go through the process of fixing all of that up, and I'll show you at the end kind of what that looks like. Then we have this, and what I want to see too is, can I actually put, I think I could fit at least one of these in there, and I will, what we're going to do, this is like probably going to be an hour long or more video, so I hope you guys are enjoying it, but I am going to come back to this one and I'm going to accessorize it and I'll show you how it looks when it's finished. But we're going to go ahead and skip forward to the teacher planner and do all that coiling work for that one. Planner number 2. And like I said, I know that there will certainly be people who are watching this that think this is stupid, or why in the world would you do that? Why do you need to do that? It's so expensive or so much time consuming. And the simple answer is because I want to. And if it's not your thing, this is not my recommendation that you do this, that everybody should do this or anything like that. I'm just sharing a process that is fun for me. And I also find that I use my planners the more I can customize them. And there are lots of other options for customizing these planners. And obviously, if you use something like a happy planner, where you can pull the pages in and out, you can do a lot more customization without all this work. But I love the Erin Condren coils. I love the quality of the paper, and I love the design of the paper. I just want to also play around with them. Plus, like I said, for me, I get credits and points every time somebody makes a purchase from my affiliate links, or, signs up for an account. I'll get $10. Like if you sign up for an account using my $10 coupon, you can get $10 off if it's your first order. Then I also get $10. So I always have money to spend, and I couldn't possibly use like 7 planners in 1 year. So I'm just finding a way to use them all and have fun with it. This coil actually feels different after just messing with a bunch of coils. This one feels more like matte. But anyway, what we're going to do next is we're going to take apart the teacher planner, and I'm just going to pull that one up. And this is the one I think I'm going to try to straighten. But this is the teacher planner with the sunset coil. And then we've got 2 notebooks, and I'm going to just follow that same exact process to straighten these out to where it matches as closely as I can get it to the shape of the coil. And that'll make it easier to pull out through the paper. And this sometimes just takes a little bit of tweaking, and sometimes it's a little bit more finicky on the bigger size because you just have to, you have more coil, obviously. But my aim is to try to get it to where when you're looking at it like this, it looks just like the other piece of the coil. And I feel like that is pretty good. Now, if you can see it, you can tell there is like a little piece of the color is missing. And that was actually there when I got it. And you can kind of see the same thing here. So whatever they're using in the warehouse also sometimes will scrape these, but you would never see it or notice it if you weren't pulling it apart because it's just tucked inside. But if you are doing this process for yourself, you're going to notice that it gets worse because some of this is just going to damage the coil. All right, so I'm going to speed this up. Okay. Now that I've done how many 6 uncoilings and coilings, leaning over to show it on the camera is kind of hurting my back. So I think I'll do these 2 off camera. But as soon as I get them done, we will go through that same process to set up the second planner. Okay, that's a lot easier to do when you can put it against your body and kind of hold the notebook like closer. But when you're holding your arms out, it can get really tedious. So again, be aware that it can be mentally or maybe mentally taxing too, but it can be physically taxing to do this. Okay, so now I'm going to take these 3 notebooks. As a reminder, we've got classic lined, priorities and notes, and we have the teacher planner. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the teacher planner. So I'm going to keep this as the cover. On the teacher planner, there is no vellum on the front. So it's just as is. And Move all those coils up. I do have like a little basket in one of my drawers that just has all my coils in them. So this is like an all about me sheet and events and things like that, communication log. I did think I could use this for like brands reach out to me all the time asking me to do sponsorships and sponsored videos. And I usually don't do them, but I might accept more of those moving forward. So if I decide to do that, that will go here like communication log or like when a video is due for a brand. But I really don't know that I'll use it. So we're going to just kind of try to think through. I do think that I could white out these different dates and things like that, and I could keep track of certain video topics or other types of things that I want to add to my YouTube channel. So I feel like that would be fine. Actually, you know what this would be great for is a log of the videos that I create throughout the year. I don't know why I didn't think of that, because I don't always have, like I have them on the monthly calendars, but I don't always have just a pure log of when and how often I did or how many videos. So this will be my video log. That's perfect. Then we have the overview of the next year and a half, and we have the 12 months here. This will definitely be good for posting, you know, different social media, like engagement numbers and like how many new followers or other stuff like that. Then we do have a couple of, I think it's 2, where this is meant to be like seating charts or, you know, other things like that. This I'm going to use for different content buckets. So on my YouTube channel, I tend to have some videos that are specific to writing, some that are specific to planning, some that are specific to like HB90 and things like that, and some that are more specific to publishing, like self-publishing. And so I want to do a bit of a mind map where I put the topic in the center and then just start brainstorming on this sheet. And then I can always come back and take ideas from this as I'm creating. And then I also think this would be a good place here in the front to write down any of your suggestions. So like if you have suggestions and always want to put them, I read all of my comments and I read all of my emails. So make sure if you have a suggestion, like this would be really helpful for me to see XYZ, whether it's planner, publishing, life, work-life balance, whatever, mental health, I can write those down in here. And then if I ever am like, I'm not sure what to post this month, I'll have them here in the front. So far I'm keeping all of those sheets. Then we've got our monthly and the weekly sheets. At the end of the teacher planner months, there is this one sheet. And then we have this, really it's like 4 sheets with the dates to remember thing, which also would be another good place to put like a log of the videos that I'm going to be creating. So this is where I want to add more notes pages and things. And I'm anticipating, again, that this will become a 6-month planner. And then when I get to the beginning of the year, I will trade this out for the next planner. So I'm just going to move these back pages to another section, and we'll just make another new 6-month planner at the end of the year. But 2 or 4 notes pages is not enough here. And so what I have to pull from is this one that has notes pages, but then also has this block. Now, what I typically do in a month is post anywhere from 4 to 6 videos. Sometimes there's more than that, but this is typical number of videos that I would post in a month. And so I'm thinking, like, I think the back of this one is the monthly thing. So I'm thinking if I have these 2 sheets and then I have this, then what I could do is have this be some kind of, this is the thought process. And once you've got it coiled, you don't want to uncoil it, right? So I've got these front pages before we get to the month. And I'm kind of wondering if I actually, where it says dates to remember in July, even though this is a matching page, if this would actually be a better place for my posting schedule is before the month begins. So maybe I could do it here. So we could have this sheet, then we've got kind of a posting schedule for the month, dates to remember for the month, and then we'll have the month itself, so all those little pages. And then this sheet can come back. see, how did I do that? Oh, how quickly we forget what we just literally did 5 seconds ago. Okay, so that sheet goes right before these colorful sheets. So that would be this sheet. And then I do want to add more notes pages. Now the purpose of the notes pages is for the outlines of the videos that I do. So some videos like this one don't really need an outline, but when I'm doing a video about like 5 tips for self-publishing, it's usually going to take a full spread, if not 3 or 4 pages. So I'm going to, let's see. I think I'm going to add 5 pages right here, plus that 6th page is the 6th piece, or this productivity page. Now we have dates to remember in August, the August monthlies, and then we skip ahead to this September page, and we're going to add 5 notes pages and 1 of these 6 brainstorm kind of pages here. And then we've got our September. So let me go ahead with that. And I think I'm going to have a lot of room for more pages. So we'll get to that in just a minute.
You know how bad I get when I'm stuck. Nursing, I can't. My mom's so again.
Okay, so this page actually will go with January of next year, that colorful page. So when we look at the pages that we have compared to the original and the Coil, we have quite a bit of pages left to use. And I think I still want to keep this as 6 month. I don't think I want to make it bigger, but I don't need in the back that checklist pages, and I don't really need the stickers that come with it. Actually, I might use these stickers, and then I do want to use the pocket. So that goes in to the thickness. And then there's also this sheet that has all the holidays on it. I will not probably use these sheets. I won't keep them in, but I probably will use this because I might put stickers and other things in here that I would use. So I will keep that as well. And I think that was in the very, very back. So this is kind of the thickness that we're dealing with here. So I have 2 options. I could either just fill the rest of this notebook pages in the back, or I could plan for having them in the front. And the other big project that's going to be taking place in this particular planner is a total re-record of the HB90 course. And so as I'm thinking of it, I'm like, could I repurpose just one of these checklist spreads as a checklist for all the videos that I need to create? Or I could do my video log like I was saying over here, where I would be able to say like, April, I had this many videos or whatever. The HB90 course, like I wouldn't really need something this big. I think is something like 40 videos. So if I had like module 1, how would I do that? Yeah, it would be like module 1, module 2, video 1, video 2, video 3, and so on. And I could use this as a workflow. I did something similar when I redid Publish and Thrive, which was over, I think, it was well over 100 videos. I just don't remember if it was over 200. It was a whirlwind. It's a lot of videos. But I really was using more of a Kanban board flow, but this actually might be a good checklist for that. And I think I could just use this one sheet, and I wouldn't really need this backing sheet necessarily. So I would just need this one sheet. So that can also go kind of back here in this overflow bonus section. So let's take, for the month of December, I do need those 5 notebook pages, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that'll be my outlines for December. And then we'll create a new section. And I think I will just take the tab that says checklist out of this section. And oh, there's one on the back. So what I'll do is just leave that, and this will, I don't need this sheet. So this will just be the checklist sheet, and I'll white that out, and this will be HB90 sheet. And then I think I'll do module 1, module 2, or day 1, day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 days of videos plus a welcome. So I'll do these pages where I can list out, okay, here's the videos that I need to make for day 1 with just a little bit of information there. And then my outline stuff will go here. So I'll do, I'm trying to think how many pages I really need for that, for the outline for each day. I think we'll go with 3. So then we say day 2, and we'll put 3 pages in here. Okay, so that is the re-record for HB90. I'm also going to be recording bonus stuff for Your Path Forward, which is the long-term game board strategy class. So I think I will also add a little checklist, a sheet, and maybe two of these sheets. And then we'll see, do we have any more space? This might be full. One thing I will say when you are looking to see, like, is this coil going to be full or not, is because of the way the paper lands on the coil, sometimes you actually have more room than you think. So it looks like, oh, that's full, but there's actually space. So, because I've done this enough times that I know. So I'm actually just going to take the rest of these notes pages and just put them here. And I think the only other, oh, there's notes pages here too. So we might as well just put all of that right here. And then we actually have this that came with the notebook and these that came with the planner. So I think I'll just use both of those in here along with these last 2 sheets, and we're going to see if that does it. And what I will do to set this planner up in terms of the tabs and stuff is these back sheets that have specific purposes in the sections is I will use tabs to delineate each of those, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, etc., so that I can easily turn to those when I need them. So this, I think, is going to be a very cool content calendar planner, YouTube planner. Yeah, I think that's going to be just about perfect. So this really is the sheet that is going to give me trouble, I feel like. So let me move these 2 out of the way and try to get these as straight as I can. One of the worst things that could happen is to put it back on the coil and realize that some of the like middle sheets didn't get coiled, because in that case, they will just fall out and you have to start over. So let's not let that happen. So we put these back in. And again, I want to keep the original design like this. So if you want the coil for this part of the coil to be down there, I have to start at the top. So that looks like this. And so you want to just kind of think, if I didn't want to, sometimes I feel like starting at the bottom of the planner is actually easier. But if I wanted to do that, I would have to straighten this pink one, and I don't really want to do that. So we have to do it this way.
Just gotta say it, get it off of my chest. Even if it's something that I'll probably regret. I've fallen way too deep. Don't pity me, please. 아무리 기다려봐도 울리지 않는 번호들. Oh no, am I sinking again? 취해버린 나 다 잊으려 해봐도 잘 안 돼. 'Cause you are still on my mind. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the longer coil was definitely harder, but I think I did pretty well perfect in the size of the planner itself, but you can see some of the pages just get damaged the more you like turn and turn. So just be wary of that if that is something that you're doing with your planner, if you're going to be Frankenplanning. It can make your pages less than perfect. And I just think this is super pretty. So now we try to get this one sort of turned back in. All right, you guys, very nice. I love it. So which cover do I want to put on it? Like, I love this cover because it has the cherries and stuff, but I don't think it looks so good with this coil. So I don't think I'm going to use that one. I also have this, which looks nice. And then we have this, but then I also have, they have vegan leather kind of covers. Oh yeah, that looks good. I think I'm going to do this one. When they first introduced these though, they popped off really easily. So we'll see if I feel like they still pop off too easy, because that sort of bugged me. But they might, you know, they're always fixing things. Like if they release something new and it's not working, they fix it. So we'll see. It is certainly pretty in real life. I love those cover colors. I do think you can't go wrong with the Evolve colors either, but I do like this matte. It's just a matter of, yeah, I mean, it seems like it's gonna fit. So I'll keep you updated on the vegan leather covers and whether I think that is gonna work long term. I was thinking about putting some cherries or some other kind of accessory on the end of this, but I don't really have a ton of options. But I do have this pretty druzy charm that they came out with a few years ago. So it is gold, and this kind of has a gold tone to it. So I think I'm going to put that up here and let it kind of sit. Somewhere I have a little S too, so I might look for that. This one is not going to get heavily accessorized, just those tabs in the back. So this one is pretty well how it's going to be if you want to see a quick flip through. We have the monthly, well, I guess really it starts up here. So I added in this sort of overview page of the videos that I'm going to do for this month. Then we have a place to track that kind of stuff. We have the monthly, then we have the weekly pages where I can set out all my social media and meetings and other posts for heart breathings. Then we have several pages of lined paper for my outlines. And then this will be the beginning of outlining and deciding what videos I'm doing for August. So I think that's nice. What I might do here in terms of accessorizing is we have the color yellow for this. So I might just find a piece of yellow washi tape and put it at the top, a piece of purple and put it at the top, so I can easily find those planned videos for the month. And then once we get to December, we have those pages, and then we have the checklist page, and we go straight into HB90 re-record. I'm thinking that I'm going to start the re-record probably in August probably in September or October. And it will be the December round of the class that will get all the new content, just because it'll have that fresh start energy of the new year. So be on the lookout for that. Of course, all alumni will get free access to the brand new course, as well as the like neurodivergent sections and any extra resources and things that are made available. So that's probably coming the end of the year. And here's how it turned out in terms of chunkiness. I love it. So now what I'm going to do is accessorize and finish setting up this one. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I will come back and show you how this turned out, and then we'll be done. It has overall taken me 3 sessions between dinner and bath time and bedtime and everything else. So it is now, I started this process at 5 and it is now almost 10 p.m. But it didn't take me a full 5 hours. We had dinner, you know, all that other stuff. But it is a time-consuming process, especially if you're doing 2 and multiple planners. So be prepared for it to take an afternoon or so to get it done. So I have both of them set up. I do have lots more potential accessories that I may add in, like I got 2 of the pockets in, but not the third one. And I do like to put this little strap on the outside so it doesn't bulge, but it's very chunky. And so it is going to get bigger because I'm also going to use the sticker kits and things like that. But I have some accessories on it. So this came to me from my mailbox. I wish that I had started a log of everybody who sent me goodies because I can't remember who this came from, but if it was you, thank you so much. It was part of a necklace and I'm gonna leave it right here. And when you take that off, you can see the cover starts to come up. So I also have this little Tokidoki with a diamond on it, and I'm gonna be working on book 12 of my Shadow Demon saga, and diamonds are a big part of that. So I'm putting her on the top here. I also have this little dragonfly clip and this one that says, "When it's dark, look for stars." And then I have a few little puffy ones and a today one here in the front. So this is my Sarra Cannon 6-month content calendar. So this is a vision board that I created in GoodNotes in my HB90 planner, and I just printed it out on a photo paper, and then I have just a plain piece of paper on the back here. And what I use to put these into my planner are these little coil clip connectors. So I actually use the smaller ones, one at the top and one at the bottom. I think it's like maybe I have more, but I don't know. You can get these in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large, I think. And it has this little 3M strip. And so you could just put anything into your planner using these and it just clips right in. So I used 2 to keep it from sort of flopping around. And then I ended up kind of pulling it off. So I'm gonna redo this part, but I wanted to go ahead and show you. I was trying to kind of re-adhere it, but it's not really working. So I'm going to redo this, probably just use this one instead because I had some issues with the way it was sitting in the planner. But my purpose behind this sheet is I've got my vision board right from the start. And then on this back part, I'm actually going to be taking, these are not mild liners. They're like mild liner dupes. They're just called highlighters, but they are dual tip little Amazon highlighters and they come in lots of different colors. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to create a color code with my different stories that are coming up because I'm going to be working on multiple projects at once between Ream and my regular stuff and my audiobooks and other things like that. So I'm going to sit down probably tonight and create a color code of all the different projects that I'm working on. And then I'm going to put the key up here in the front along with maybe some book covers or other things like that. And that way I can remember what key I was using. And I'm using these I had bought to see if they were similar to mild liners. I don't think they're as nice, which is always the case with like dupes or whatever. And so I'm gonna use them just for this one project as long as they work pretty well. And I will just put them in a small pencil case so that kind of always stays with this one planner. Then I've got this little ollie clip with a Wild at Heart backing paper and a little picture of me and Evie. I want to go find one of me with Andrew as well and stick that in here. I don't know if I have a little photo strip like this, but I definitely have some photos of him that I want to put in here. So I've got both my little kiddos. Then we've got this piece. I did take the tab off of this and you can see I kept all the gray ones because this tab was blue and I don't really need a tab there. Now I will go back through this part and do a similar thing to what I did here, which is going through and marking not just my Sarra Cannon schedule, but I also was marking like when is Publish and Thrive so that I know kind of how I'm mixing things together. So that will all go on here using my color code that I have with the mild liners. Then we've got this insert here that is actually an academic, and I know that's not going to look perfect with the glare, but it's an academic planner one, and it does say school tracker, top priorities, class, assignment, and due date. But what I'm gonna write here is for an overview of the entire month, here's the episodes on Ream that are due, and here's the like number of episode and what day it's due, and I'll fill this out at the beginning of the month. Then there is this Monday through Friday thing that's obviously for classes. So this is when I'll put my like weekly schedule for that. And then there's a long-term assignments thing. So I'm not exactly sure how I'll use that. This says quizzes and tests. So I might find like some stickers or some sticker sheets and just cover these up with some different things. But I do like the colors of this. That I also have this one that is priorities and to-do list. And then on the back, it has a Monday through Sunday tracker. So I might end up using this one instead. I don't think I need them both, but I might end up using this one instead just so that I don't have to worry about where it says school and stuff like that. So then we have our July tab and see how these are taped together. So we've got the July tab, and then I'll cover this with stickers. I might do that while we're watching TV tonight. I don't, like I said, know how I'll use this dashboard, but then I do have some. I have so many of these. I feel like I purchased every little snap-in bookmark they ever had. And I actually really love this one too. So I might pull that out since it's purple and put that later in the planner. But I want to have one little tab here that is movable that I can put on the weeklies of each of these 2 weeks. Then here's the second half of my vision board. So inside my HB90 digital planner, I always create two-sided vision board, and I just went with all purple this time. That's gonna bug me. I will fix it. So this is one side, this is the other side here in this little pouch. And I've got Disappearance of Vanessa Shaw, my little stickers here. Then we just have that one sheet, and then we have the beginning of July, and I've got the Today tab on there. That should actually be right on here so that I know kind of where those are. Then we've got those checklist pages. This is my vision board for A Mirror of Shadows. And on the back of it is my vision board for book 12 of my Shadow Demon Saga. So I won't share that necessarily. And then that again is just put on with one of these coil clip connectors. And then I have, you know, moving on to August and so on. So you can see I went ahead and created all those little tabs. And in the back, we have just our second folder piece here that has Project Phoenix on it, and I am using that for my notes pages in the back where I will be working on stuff related to Project Phoenix, though I have a different notebook for that project specifically. Then I will be able to tuck my stickers into the back sheet. So that is my super cute little project planner, or whatever you want to call it, content planner. I did buy this multicolor square sticker pack last time I purchased from Erin Condren. So they've got one that's colorful, one that's pastel, and then one that's like different metallics. And I was thinking that if I can come up with, like, find the ones that match here, this might be the best way to do a color code, because then I'll have the stickers and the pens, like the highlighters, that match. So I'm going to try. I think I bought 2 of these, so I need to look for the other one. So I'm going to try to do that. We'll put that back on in a sec. And then for my Heart Breathings planner, I just put this little cherry sticker, which somebody gave me at Inkers Con. I think it was Inkers. Oh, I'm losing my memory. So thank you for that, whoever passed that my way. I forgot I need to put the other piece on. So it's super, super cute. And I went ahead and whited out all the little things that I don't want in this planner, but I didn't have to do anything with tabs or anything like that. So I will do the same thing on this that I was talking about, that other calendar, but this one will just be Heart Breathings events, like when are videos going up, when are courses. I like to put both things on here because I don't want to end up putting too many live streams or other things at the same time. So that's why I'm doing that. And then it's just basically what you saw. I didn't really set anything up separately in this particular planner. I just put a little Hello Kitty down here at the back. And if I find a cute little puffy thing to put up here, like the only one I have right now is black, and that's not really what I want to put on this planner. I do have things like Procrastiplanner just came out with these vinyl HB90 stickers. And so I have those to put down in all the double down days on here, and that will be really nice to go ahead and use. And then I've got other stickers, both from her and others that I'm going to put in that sleeve in the back. And those are my Frankenplanners. Took a whole afternoon to do, but now I will happily use them for 6 months. I will not go ahead, I'm not going to go ahead and put together the next 6 months. Like I could sit down right now and just say, okay, let's take the rest of those notebooks and stuff and just go ahead and put them together instead of leaving those sheets just laying out. But I don't want to do that, because if I use this for a couple months and think, oh, I wish I had done this differently, then I would have to uncoil and change it or just live with it for another 6 months. So I don't want to do that. So I'm going to wait so that I can shift it up and change it next time. So I hope you were able to craft with me, plan with me while we were doing some of this. Let me know what you think of this process, or if you would ever try it yourself. Or if it's just fun to watch, but you would never do it yourself. I would love to know. Also, let me know if you would like to see updates of what these like planner notebook hybrids are looking like in my notebook challenge. Thank you so much for being here. If this is your first Heart Breathings video, I hope that you'll subscribe. It would mean so much to me if you would join our Hearties community. I love you all. I hope you're having a great end to Q2, and I will see you in Q3. Bye, everybody.